everyone, Charlotte here with your next prenatal workout. Go ahead and take a seat on your mat. I want you to find a diamond-shaped position with your legs. Knees are just slightly bent. Find a place where you can just sit up nice and tall on that heavy sitting bone area. And that just a soft point with the ankle. From here, I just want you to, again, see how tall, how lifted you could feel up above the crown of the head. And then from here, reach your arms straight out in front of you. Drop your chin towards your chest and start to curl down towards your thighs, allowing your rib cage to reach back as you reach your arms towards your toes, and then sit back up, find that flexion. Good. And then find that big forward flexion. And then sit back up. One more time. Just get that nice stretch through the spine. Sit back up nice and tall. Grab your hands back behind your thighs, and then from here, give your thighs a little pull. Again, sit back up as tall as you can. From here, roll your shoulders up, down, and back. Feel a little more open already through your chest. And then start to press your chest forward as you start to lift your gaze. And find a little bit of extension from here. Make sure your neck feels like it's not too open. Drop the chin back down, sit back up tall. Let's lead with your gaze first this time. Start to let your gaze travel up towards the ceiling. As you do so, let your collarbones get a little more proud and open. Finding a little liveliness and stretch through that area. Right there below the tips of the shoulder blades. Sit back up tall, one more just like that. Good. Could you squeeze your shoulder blades together just a tiny bit more behind you, and then sit back up nice and tall. Right hand to that right knee, left arm up towards your ear. Let's go ahead and side bend up and over, keeping your left hip as heavy as you can, keeping that left arm as close to your ear as you can. Sit back up, left hand comes down, right arm up, and then from there, heavy that right hip as you come up and over. Opening through that right side of the rib cage here. Good, let's inhale into the left side of the rib cage as we reach up and over towards the right, maybe heading that left foot more to get a little deeper into that side body stretch. And then here, one more with that right arm. Good. Both arms come out to that T position. From here, we sit up as tall as we can. Keep the hips pretty heavy. And then rotate. Think about maybe just a quarter turn over to one side. Come through the center. And then quarter turn over to the other. Like you're going to kind of reach back into your back seat and grab something behind you. So it's not extreme, but you're getting that movement through the spine. Make sure your head is going with you. And then finish up that last set. Good. Just drop your hands back down to wherever feels comfortable on the shins or the knees, thighs. Drop your chin down towards your chest. Feel a stretch of the back of your neck. Lift your gaze straight ahead and then look straight up. Let your chin tilt up towards the ceiling and feel that stretch through the front of the neck. And then drop the chin back down. We've got a ton of muscles around our shoulders and neck. They get really tight. This is going to help us to release it. And then one more time, take that gaze up. Looking straight ahead, I want you to drop your right ear to your right shoulder. Feel that stretch through the left side of the neck. And then come back through the center. Find that balance, and then left ear to the left shoulder. I'm definitely tighter on my right side. You can just notice that in your body, and then come back through the center. One more here, side to side with the head and the neck. Good. And then go ahead and just straighten your legs right out in front of you. Bend your knees just a tiny bit. I want you to reach your hands towards your ankles or your toes if that's available to you. And start to reach and press down through the backs of the thighs. You want to give yourself a little pull wherever you are to get a little stretch to the back of your thighs. Take one breath from there. And then from here, go ahead and sit back up nice and tall. If you're 20 plus weeks and you need a bolster, you're not comfortable laying on your back at this point, go ahead and grab that bolster. Just use it to keep yourself slightly elevated. Otherwise, you're going to lay all the way down. Left leg stays long. Your right leg's going to come in. Knee to the chest, both hands behind the thigh. I've got my fingers wrapped and clasped. Soft point. Go ahead and straighten your right leg up to the ceiling. Bend the knee and then come back down. And then reach and stretch. And then bend and release. hold it up straight at the top. From here, let's point and flex to the ankle with that nice lengthened right leg. Just move, point and flex. And then from here, I want you to hold a soft point and let's circle through your ankle all the way around, maybe hearing, feeling that little snap, crackle, pop. I've had several ankle injuries, so mine are pretty noisy. Reverse the direction of that circle. We really want to keep mobility through the ankles up so that we keep ourselves moving through life with ease and grace. Good. Hold, flex through the foot. Press the back of your thigh away from your chest. Get one more big stretch from here. Slide that right leg back down. Let's take it over to the left. And then from there, again, we're going to point through the ankle, straighten through the leg. Do that 3 times. Hold the leg up. Move through the ankle, point and flex from there. Soft point. From there, let's circle through the ankle. Good. Noticing how the range differs from the right to the left. And then reverse that movement. Good. Good. Find the range of movement that feels comfortable, safe for you today. Now hold your flex. Press that left thigh into the backs of the hands. Hold the leg straight. Get a big, big stretch. And then from here, straighten that left leg out. I want you to go ahead and roll over onto your left side and then bring yourself up to that side facing position. Bring your left knee out in front of that left hip, almost like you're using that bottom leg as a kickstand. Your left elbow is right below your shoulder. Your right hand is going to be down on your mat. The top right leg is nice and lengthened. From here, keep that pressure down into that bottom arm, and I want you to lift your hips up and then drop right back down. You're going to lift up into a modified side plank and lower into tap. If it feels good to bring your hand to your hip, feel free to take that option. Good. We're going for 2 more. Last one here. Hold. I want you to hold in that side plank, and then from there, drop the hips just an inch, lift back up. Little hip dips here for 4. Keep your head lifted in line with the rest of your spine. Breathe through it. 1 more, your hips come down. Great. You're going to lay all the way down on that left side, lengthen that left arm out, and then cradle your head with your hand. Bring both legs forward to the front of the mat. Hips and shoulders are in one long line. Good. Reach that top right leg out long. Lift it up hip height, slightly externally rotate it. Top hand is going to be that little anchor point in front of you. Sweep that leg forward and backwards. So you want to try to keep both hips nice and stacked. Feeling anchored here. We'll go for 2. Last 1. Bring the legs back in line with each other. You're going to lift up towards the ceiling and then lower back down with that nice soft point. Go for 4. And as you do this, try not to drop that left side body down too much to the mat. Think about keeping it lifted by keeping that top right hip nice and stacked. 1 more. And then from here, let's draw our small little circles. 5 in one direction and then 5 in the other. Good. And then from here, I want you to bring your top hand flat, bottom hand flat. Let's come onto your hands and knees. From here, knees below the hips, hands below the shoulders, and find a cat and cow position. So let's start with your tailbone pulling underneath you like you're going to take it towards your knees, then curve your mid back, then look towards your thighs. And then find that nice lengthened neck. Drop your chest down and lift your tailbone back. Start to lift your tailbone more, going into that opposite tilt. Drop your rib cage and take your gaze forward. Let's do all of that one more time. Curl underneath you. Look towards your thighs. Lifting your back up towards the ceiling. Let that mid back get nice and wide. And then come out of it. Find that flat position. And then go ahead and find that extension. See if you can press into the hands more to get your shoulders out of your ears. Find that flat position. And then from here, go ahead and come down onto your right side. Good. Elbow again right below the shoulder. That right leg is in front of the body. Knee in line with the hip. Nice and heavy ankle. Top hand is going to start rested a little flex for that top left leg. Make sure that that hip's not way back. From there, again, you're gonna lift your hips up. Little side plank and then drop down. We're going for 5 here. And I think especially with side planks, honestly, one side is gonna feel a lot harder than the other. So if you wanna take the hand of the hip on the side, you can. Get to that 5th one. We hold, we do those tiny little hip dips here. 1 more. Go ahead and come down onto that right arm, hand behind the head. Legs come forward, angled away from the body. Top hand comes down to that anchor point. Again, shoulder and hips in line. Lift that top left leg, reach the toes long, sweep forward and back here. Good, trying to keep both hips nice and level. Don't forget to breathe. And the range doesn't need to be big. We're looking for control. Bring that leg back in line, lift up and down with that soft point with the toe here. Go for 3. Like you could just tap both heels each time, and then from there, we've got those 5 circles forward, moving through the hip, not just the near the ankle, and then reverse. Keep them nice and small. And 5, good. And then from here, what I want you to do, take that bottom hand down, good. You're gonna bring yourself up to a seated position, and then bring that right knee to that right side, left leg back behind you into that little Z-sit position, and then we're gonna kind of readjust ourselves from here. So your left hip naturally wants to kind of lift and rotate. See if you could re-square the hips just a little bit. Grab at your left ankle with your left arm. Now bring your right arm to your right ear, and then it's going to be a pretty small range in that side bend up and over. You can give a good pull on that ankle. Now bring that right hand down. Your left arm's coming up. You're going to slide your arm away from you. Come onto the forearm, and then from there, see how far could you lift. Let's let that left hip lift up in the idea of reaching further with the arm. Arm and ear are pretty close. Pressure into that bottom arm. And then we're going to come back up. We're going to switch to the other side. Just bring both feet in front of you and then drop the legs back to the other side. Grab at that right ankle. Good. Left arm up. Give yourself a good pull. Getting that little counter stretch from here. That right hip stays anchored pretty easily. Now bring that left arm down. Get to the elbow. Find your forearm. Right arm comes up, and then side bend up and over from there. Really allow that right rib cage to open. Maybe again, letting that hip lift just a little, and the spirit of getting the biggest range here as we come up and over. Good, and then pressure into that bottom arm and come back up to the top. Give yourself a minute, roll through the shoulders. We're gonna come onto your knees. Bring your knees slightly wider than hip width. There's a little tuck of the tailbone underneath you. And I like to bring my heels together. You're gonna squeeze your heels. That's gonna fire up your inner thighs just a tiny bit more, give you a little bit more to think about. From here, your arms are gonna come right in front of your thighs, shoulders up, down, and back from here. And then from there, I want you to take an inhale as you sweep your arms back behind your hips. And think about growing more open and proud with the chest, and then exhale. Arms back in front. So it's just that sweep of the arms forward. As you sweep forward, instead of letting your shoulders roll down towards your rib cage, I want you to keep your shoulders up, down, and back, and then release. Let's go for 3 more. Good, exhale. You may feel a good little kind of connection between the shoulder blades there. On this next one, let's hold. Take the hands just right back behind the thighs. You're gonna look to the right, stretch to the left side of the neck, look through the center, look to the left, look through the center, and then I want you to look left, center, right, center, and then sweep the arms in front of you. Let's take an inhale back. This time look left, through the center, right, through the center. Now right, center, left, center, and then release. Good. Arms right in front of you. Squeeze the heels together. Again, you're tucking your tailbone under like you've got pants that are kind of zipped right up towards the very tip top of the hip, and they're nice and flat. And then from there, you're going to hinge back with the head, shoulders, chest and thighs. For thigh stretch, we don't have to go very far for you to feel that engagement and liveliness. Let's take an inhale to come back. Exhale to come up. Good, one more. Fantastic. From here, back onto the hands and knees. Again, stacking. I want you to tuck your toes under this time. Good. Make sure your hands are right underneath the shoulders. You're going to lift your knees up, bring your hips up, and then from here, find a little down dog position, and then start to pedal out through the feet. So drop one heel down, bend the other knee, and switch. And switch, getting a little more of that hamstring stretch here. Good. One side feels like it needs a little more attention. Pause there and take a breath. You're going to come back down onto your knees. This time bring your knees a little wider. Let your toenails go flat on the mat. Reach your arms. Drop down. Find your child's pose. Let your head rest. Let your arms rest. And then from here, you're going to take 2 breaths. Let yourself release all the tension through the body. Your legs go as wide as you need them to. Try to release any tension you're holding through the body. Soften through the corners of the eyes, the sides of the mouth. See if you could let your earlobes even get a little softer, a little more released. And then from there, I want you to slide your elbows back towards your knees. Draw your knees in towards each other, and then come back onto the heels. Give yourself a moment, and you are all set. Thank you so much for joining me. As always, questions, comments, concerns, let me know. Save this. Do it later. Appreciate you. I'll see you again soon.